Hmm, interesting. The chats from last stream are still here. I kind of figured they would have gone when I restarted stream. They did not. I was wrong. Oh well. So, hey. Not long ago, I was playing some First Class Trouble with some friends. It was a fun little chaotic time. Had a lot of fun. I don't do collabs that often. They're fun when I get the opportunity to do it. But I'm back again. We're here with Gris. I haven't played it before, but I've heard good things about it. I've heard some interesting things about it, and I wanted to give it a try. The only thing I really know about this is I think the MC's dress has some special power, which lets us do a lot of things that we do. But also, to my knowledge, I think we're playing in like a dead world type of setting. Those tend to intrigue me. I don't know what it is. Something about like dead worlds. The idea of like there was life here. That life has disappeared. But there are still bits and pieces and peoples who will cling on to every last little bit and keep surviving. I think that's interesting. There we go. So, without further ado, I invite you to lurk, to chill, to vibe. It's gonna be a casual type of evening. I got a fine cup of green tea, do a little bit of a cooling down type of thing. Now I understand what Rick Perian said. A sip of tea, and away we go. So, judging by the loading screen, never mind. Oh? Oh, she lost her voice. Oh, jeez. Falling and tumbling and diving. Down and down and down we go. You're so small. Published by Devolver. I feel like I've heard of Devolver before. It's a familiar sounding studio. Devolver Digital? Is that what I'm thinking about? Created by Nomada Studio. Oh, we're all gray now. Hmm. Oh, I can control it. gonna trip over that rock? No, we are not. Okay, so space, we fall down. Interesting. So what if I go the other way? I feel like the camera's panning out. Oh, look at this. You can see small hills in the background. Oh, we're walking into a snowstorm? What are those? They're like squids, but they're flying. Flying squids. We're falling again. Can I get up? I can get up. We're looking up. Oh, I hear music. Oh, we're running. We can jump. We found a reason to jump. Woo! Wow. It's like under the tree here. Interesting. This would fully just be like a background, like a PC background shot. But we're not here for that. We are here for adventure. Or are we here for adventure? Who knows why Gris? I think the character's name is Gris. Who knows why Gris is here? What draws somebody to adventure and go into a world like this? What made us fall into it? Oh. Hello, little guys. I go like this. Oh, they're like little crab creatures. They made homes out of stone bricks. I like that. Hop, skip, flutter away. Wow, what happened to this place? Something funky happened here. It's like... Hold up. I'm wondering... Because this looks like marble. The structures look to be marble. So I'm wondering if all this dust on the ground is just marble powder. Like there was like a massive city here or something that's been reduced not even to rubble, but reduced all the way down to like dust. What is this? I have a little dot. What does it let me do? It's falling behind me. I like that. Away we go. Oh. Alright. We climb this broken aqueduct. Where it's gonna take us. Can't get up there. Huh. Oh. What are you doing? I wonder if there's something... Oh, I can go up here. The game plays with perspective a little bit, it seems like. Alright, I need 3 little moats to continue that area. Well, I know where there's one. Now that I'm up here, I should be able to jump over to the moat this direction. Which I believe is just right here. Yes. Yes, it is. Oh? That did something. Like, I was thinking I had to, like, do something with these walking crabs, but no, I just had to walk up the other ledge. Perspective led me astray. However, now I need to get up here. So I'm going to assume that if I just follow this route and go up this tower, we'll go somewhere where we want to be. Oh. Hi. This looks like a giant sky manta ray. I like that. Ah, now this is when I am forced to ask, is there fall damage in this game? No. Wait, did they make like a bridge for me? They did! I'm walking on starlight. I like that. Alright, that's 3 moats. And with that, we cross this area. This is a very pretty game. I'm vibing with it so far. Now, where's this? Where do we go from here? Oh, that's the hand that was holding us, I think. It's crumbled so badly. What happened? Oh. Everything's turned red. Why is it red, though? So maybe this stuff isn't marble dust. Maybe just we can't see color anymore. It seems like we brought a color back into this world somehow. And for some reason. I think I remember somewhere that I saw some theory that colors in a language will develop in a certain order. And one of the most common ones to develop first is red. You know, there's colors like blue and green in a lot of languages. They tend to, some of them, like, they'll mean the same color. You say blue or green. In some languages, they're the one color, and they're kind of seen as shades of each other. And there was also the case of, like, purple, where, like, purple is usually a pretty late color to be given a name. Like, because often purple just gets described as a different shade of red. Like, I think it was, I'm trying to remember this, because this is something that I studied a while back, but I haven't looked at in a very long time. The Phoenicians in the days, like, the Mediterranean trade between, like, which empires were it? Like, the Mycenaean Greeks and, like, the other empires that dwelled along the Mediterranean loop. The Phoenicians developed this, like, red-purple cloth, is kind of how we call it now. But back then, it wasn't, like, a red-purple cloth, it was, like, a shade of red, is what it was. They didn't have a word for purple properly. But, like, it was so valuable and so hard to make that it kind of became associated with royalty and nobles as, like, the color of kings, the color of rulers. That's why purple's kind of seen today as, like, a noble kind of color, or a color associated with royalty. I need a lot of thoughts for that. A lot of moats. I'm gonna call them moats until I've been told otherwise. But yeah, that's just a little explanation. The reason red tends to be, like, one of the first colors named in a language is because people need a word to describe, like, blood, generally. Because if something spills blood, it tends to be dangerous. So red is a word that kind of gets developed early because it's used to be like, hey, we're in danger and we needed a way to describe danger. So yeah, that's a little interesting history fact about how languages develop colors. Oh, I can jump! Woo! Woo! Yeah, that was a fun little trip. Okay, so I can't pass that mountain. That mountain is indeed a barrier. Let's go this way instead. Dun. Oh, it's just it's controlling itself. Welcome to Gris. Well, no point to stay standing around here. Adventure awaits. I go this way. With games like this, always go the way the game doesn't want you to go. Because that's where you'll find secrets, and loot, and treasures, and all this wonderful things. Like this. I did a thing. I don't know what I did, but I did it. There's nothing wrong with collecting these hidden collectible things around the map. Massive mountains in the background. Why are you floating? I'm wondering what happened to this place. Like, it looks like some rough stuff happened here. Like, the ground is blasted to a plane, and the trees are growing oddly. Oh, what's this? They're like weather vanes. Or windmills, maybe. But why are they all like this? Oh. Oh. Right. We need to stay in shelter then. But what counts as shelter in this scenario? Like, is everything gonna be as obvious as a house like that? Hey, more little crab things. Okay. We're just weathering the storm. I'm gonna stay in here for a minute. Because I feel this is like a safe place. Yeah, I'm safe in here. Just keep going, just keep going. Alright, we're safe. away we go. Down the mountainside. Wonder how these trees survive, you know? How much wind? It's gotta be difficult to, like, keep your roots in the ground. I know there's the obvious answer of keep, it's a video game. Hey. Excuse me, how did I miss this? What do you mean, how did you miss it? Also, hello, Smitty. Hello, Ace. Hello, Smitty. How you guys doing this night? I'm just playing some Gris. Having some chill times. It's Sunday. I made a nice cup of green tea. Oh, keep the link is expired. Oh, what? Oh. That's fucked. Oh, that's what you mean. Yeah, I made a Discord, like, way back. But, I don't really use it. But, like, I made it because I hit a follower goal. I'll get a link for you real quick. How'd you... Fairly well. Working out the next session for D&D. Hell yeah. I love to hear about D&D stuff. I think you've mentioned to me in the past, Smitty, that you do D&D stuff. But, like, I don't remember you ever telling me about, like, any campaigns or anything. But how's the plotting going? Are you a kind DM? Are you a benevolent DM? Or are you a cruel DM? Yeah, there you go, Ace. Find shelter from the storm. Ooh, another moat. It's violent out there. The outside world is windy and full of troubles, but we are in here with stone crab friends, so we are safe. Oh, I can't get out this way. So where do I go from here? Oh, this is my first venture as a DM, and we're running Lost Mines of Bendelver. Hey, it's a classic. I've heard really good things about it, but I haven't played, I've never played Lost Mines of Bendelver myself. Isn't that the one where there's like a dragon that is very notorious for, killing early game parties? Because, you put, some low-level adventurers against, a young adult dragon. That's, what, CR8 monster? Or maybe I'm getting my, campaign stuff mixed up. I'm not all the way down here. I am generous, but also sadistic. That is the proper way to be a DM. I skipped that so badly. It's got some ups and downs, and I've been judiciously rewriting chunks of the plot. Hey, also a good thing to be doing. There's a good saying I like to kind of keep in mind with a lot of modules especially, is the module is a base. It's like a starting point. The module assumes, especially with D&D, it assumes Adventurers League, which is everybody's kind of going to go through it around the same way. It's more like a group activity. They're not finely tuned for specific parties, which that's the benefit of when you're running your own game and you know who you're playing with, that you can tune them up, you can fill in gaps in the plot, and you can add things to spice it up. Eli. He has a green dragon at some point. I swapped it for the white dragon to tie it into the Dragons of Icespire Peak. Right. Okay. So, have you played Icespire? Or thinking more you might do Icespire after Fendelver? Because I know a lot of people will do Lost Mines of Fendelver as a beginner's first foray into D&D. Okay. I didn't get knocked all the way down. Wonderful. There's a channel. Oh, voice crack. There's a channel that I sometimes watch. Brett Alt. Oh, what? Oh, hello, crab friend. I'm actually not sure these are crabs anymore. Where's the body of this thing? It has a very large shell. The collectible thing got. I don't know what those do. Thank you for the ride, crab friend. Oh, crab friend, I'm coming back. And no problem, Ace. Here we go. Trying to think of any like official modules I've run in D&D. How many modules I've played? What can I do with this one? I don't think I can jump up and get this. Nah, I can't jump good enough. Can I do something to like break this up here? It would like, if I stand on it, will it break underneath me? Has not yet. Will it though? Maybe if I like let the wind blow me back. No, that didn't work either. Alright. Maybe this is something that I'll get an upgrade later. That'll let me do something to collect that. I have to try and remember it. My famously accurate memory. I got the module when I got the Essentials kit, and since they take place in the same area with the same cast, I made some provisions to continue into Icefire Peak if the players hadn't grown tired of the Forgotten Realms. I think there's been like... I've been in 2 mini-games that were in the Forgotten Realms, and one of them we instantly left the Forgotten Realms to do like a Planescape type of adventure. Forgotten Realms is cool. I've done a lot of like reading into it for lore for some characters. What? Why am I a square? Hold K. Why K? Ah, okay. I've unlocked the power of square. Yay. I plan on running it at least until the end of Icefire Peak, by which point I want to run a homebrew campaign. Okay. Homebrew's a lot of fun. That's what I get a lot of enjoyment doing. I like making campaigns, making worlds, all that stuff. I do tend to like, a couple of times I've found a module I found interesting, sometimes official, sometimes like a fan homebrew type thing, and I modified a little bit, either like to fit a setting I was already running, or just to have it in a way to accommodate my players. Where was I saying? I had a thought I was trying to go into, but the windstorm kind of stole it from my brain. Oh yeah, I remember what I was gonna say. If you're gonna do homebrew stuff, do you plan on like moving to a new world? You're gonna stick to the Forgotten Realms? Man, I'm really rolling back on that one. Wait, that's it. Become stone. That's the secret. This is the power of the stone. Blow all you want, wind, you can't stop me. Oh, that's like a carved woman. It's another carved woman. What happened? Wait. Is she like becoming part of this? Yeah, she's becoming part of the stone. Man. So definitely going down there is where I gotta go, I think. Is there anything over this way? Hey, big rock stone friend. Where will you take me? You know, the longer this goes along, the more I think that this is like the way to continue the story. So I gotta go in, break that thing. I have Eberron and Spell, whole new setting, cosmology, fact, and history. I have Eberron and Spelljammer, but that's only going to form the basis. The rest is going to be more or less constructed from the ground up. Hey, Eberron's a good place to go. I've had a couple of characters. Like, I've had a couple of characters more, like, inspired by some Eberron stuff. Like, the shifters are cool. Maybe this was the correct way to go, I'm now realizing. Oh well. Deep down we go. Ring the bell. Man. We're back in a grayscale land. Oh. We have like little butterflies following us in our reflection. Hey stranger. What's the matter? There's a lot of you. Spelljammer is also a fun setting. It gets very wacky in Spelljammer from what I've seen. And I'm very much a big fan of the, things like spaceships, airships, just having like seafaring campaigns. I really want to be in a seafaring campaign where it's just like, yeah, the sailing crew. We're going on adventures. We're doing like, pirate shenanigans or like merchant shenanigans or any of that stuff. It's a very fun concept. Oh, something to go here. I broke something there. Is there more things I need to break? Oh, I'm just breaking all the statues. That's what I'm doing. So which other ones can I break then? Alright, looks like I can get up here. Oh. Got punted out of a volcano. I mainly wanted to run the pre-written modules because this is my first attempt as a DM and wanted to get my feet wet and get an idea how to structure things. Figure something closer to Firefly or Star Sector instead of strictly sticking to the flavor of Spelljammer. Now that's a good way to do it. I consider it a mistake that I made when I started DMing for the first time. Was I tried to dive in, make my own stuff all the time, and do all that type of shenanigans. And it went really badly for me. I wrote some absolute garbage by not really knowing the differences of story writing versus D&D writing and incorporating all that stuff into like how much content you actually need to put into a campaign versus how much you have to put into a book and all that stuff. So I made a lot of mistakes when I was a young DM, and I still make mistakes. I'm not saying this is the way oh yeah, I never make mistakes. No, that's just bound to happen. And it's kind of just accept it, you'll learn from it, and find a way to just keep things fun, even if it doesn't go exactly as you think it's gonna go. But yeah, now anytime a friend asks me, "Hey, Keith, do you have any advice for somebody who wants to start DMing for the first time?" What I tend to say is, run a module first. It's good experience. They're well written, they've been reviewed, they've been played over and over. There's so many people that can be like, hey, this is some advice that I can give you for running this module, or good ways to incorporate switching into from just a module to eventually maybe expanding it into a campaign. There's so much stuff already out there that you can just have fun and figure it out and explore and see what you enjoy in a module and what parts of DMing you enjoy as well. They're very good, I think. I like these fans. They're very nice. Like clockwork fans. It's getting interesting. Still so much red though. So much red. Rock crab friends. I like the rock crab friends. Big rock crab friend, lead me to victory. Thank you. No. Oh. Okay, you get there. Oh. Slam. Oh, it's like clockwork. Okay. There we go. Up this way we go. Man, I like this clockwork. It's very cool. Funny story, I have a degree in writing. I have a fair idea how to write a story, but writing a story that engages the players and is flexible enough for the party to explore has proven to be different beasts. I've already tested my capabilities a little when grafting new bits to the Fandelver campaign, especially as I picked up 4 players in the early stages of things. Yeah, that's like definitely the biggest thing I can say that like differentiates writing a book from like writing a D&D campaign. Well, for one, takes with a grain of salt because I've never written a book. I've attempted, but like never made a full book. And I think I mentioned this before. I do a lot of world building stuff because that's something I've had a lot of fun with. I'm trying to write a book at the moment, but jeez, where was I going with this? Yeah, a big thing about DMing versus traditional writing is you're writing for yourself, but you're also writing for like a set group of people. You know exactly who's going to be playing with you. You know exactly who's going to be experiencing the story with you. And of course, there's always a chance of like, you know, your friends who you're playing with might end up like telling stories about their D&D adventure after the fact. But at the end of the day, you're writing something for yourself and for a set group of friends or a set group of people. So a thing to make it really easy is learning what those players want to engage in and learn what they'll enjoy and kind of figuring out like, okay, this is something that especially comes if you play with a group for a long time. Like the groups I play with, I've generally played with for a very long time, where you know them very well and you know them to the point where you can have a very good guess at what they're going to do in any situation. And that could be either like you know them as a person so well, or you know their character so well, especially if it's a player who's really into like doing what their character would do. So that kind of like helps with the like over preparation. Because yeah, you gotta make some that'll engage the player specifically. You have the benefit of knowing your audience, which if you're writing a book or like some form of short story and you're releasing it for anyone to view, anybody could enjoy it. And that's also fun too. Basically, I did a very long ramble to basically just say, know your audience and it'll save you so much work. Boom. Oh. What do I do here? Break this for one, just for fun. Oh. I just go right down the middle. Good job overcomplicating things again, Keep. You do this a lot. Alright, now, where am I going with this? Ah. Oh. Where am I doing? Where am I going? Ah. I went all the way back down to the bottom. Cool. Is there anything this way? There's something this way. There's a moat down there. How do I get to it? I feel I'm gonna get some type of buff that'll let me jump that. Or maybe this will have something to do with it. Where's that gonna stop? I might just lose this. Alright. No, it's not gonna work. Another thing that writing a book, comic, etc. differs from a TTRPG campaign is following a generally singular path. Since, for instance, D&D is built off of collaborative storytelling, it can easily go any which direction and not be strictly held to a particular plane. Yeah. That's things that I find fun with D&D, especially when, like, you have people that are interested in different stories. Because with the book, you have, like, yourself, and you have, like, beta readers and editors and stuff like that. But with a TTRPG campaign, you have, like, 4 or 5 different people, DM included. Of course, varies depending on how big of a group you have. Like, you all have different stories. Like, anytime you make a character, you have a backstory generally. Like, every player at a table has their own story that they're interested in telling. The DM has also, like, a narrative as well, and you have, like, personal quests. So it very much has a tendency to spiral out. But, like, when I mentioned of, like, knowing your players, you'll save yourself a lot of over prep. Because by knowing your players, you know what stories they want to explore, or can have like 80% of the time this type of story they want to explore. So, like, you can prepare things and kind of prepare in advance for what you think they're gonna do. Of course, you know, a lot of the times they will still surprise you, because that's the whole point of D&D and collaborative storytelling. You're always in for a surprise. Oh! Where'd he go? Oh, you're not crabs. So what are you? If not crab, then what? Yeah. There's a lot of similarities and a lot of differences between, like, traditional writing or, like, comic writing or, like, prose and poetry versus tabletop. They're different mediums to work with, and they have strengths and flaws, and they're very fun. Especially because, I don't know, at least with me, a lot of writing is very singular. Like, I do it as a thing I do when I'm alone. I definitely get a little bit too nervous to share my writing with people, especially. That's one of the hurdles that I really want to overcome. Yeah. So writing for me is a very singular thing, a very personal, very just me type of thing. So TTRPGs, it's different. I get to play with a bunch of people. We all have our own stories we want to explore, our own things we want to get done. Fun way to doing some improv and, like, shared storytelling and bouncing ideas. The good old yes and comes to mind. Ooh, I know what I can do here. If I do this. Yes! I bring it down. Sometimes I have a thought, and sometimes it works. And that certainly was the time that it worked. I figure if I over-prepare on some counts, I can still use some material if I ever walk another group through the same scenario. Yeah, and there is that too. That's a good rule as well, is if you make something, never throw it out. Because, you know, maybe they will come back and do it. Maybe another group will run through the same campaign, or maybe an idea can be reused. I am very guilty of like making something for one game that like didn't get touched on or like didn't really get explored in a particularly meaningful way. You can always recycle a storyline, especially if it never gets seen by your players the first time. Because, you know, you're the only one who's gonna know, like, what's reused content. You're the only one who's gonna know that this was meant for another campaign. Unless you tell them, of course. But yeah, never throw anything out, because you might find a use for it later down the road. That campaign, or maybe another campaign. Slam down over here. No, I think I do just need more weight for this. Just too heavy. Do it over here. Can I like climb the spokes on this wheel maybe? Is that something I can do? No. It's not right there I can't. There's gotta be some way to get more weight on this thing. There we go. Ah, here we go. Time for a dive. No way. Come on. Alright. So I clearly have to go further up. Alright. There we go. Another strong spoke over here I can use. Alright. From the top rope. Run it back. And try again. Solid. The clockwork pieces are working yet again. Something I'm looking forward to the next campaign is actually integrating the PC's backstories into the plot. We didn't exact so much time workshopping things before we got started on our current campaign. That's another secret that I found works quite nicely. It's never too late to like change up a story, especially if it's parts of a story that hasn't been brought up to the group yet. Like, you can always add new character motivations if you discuss with your DM about it. I need to preface that. Because I have known people who would, like, who have changed elements of their backstory or, like, changed elements of how their character works without asking for, like, DM/GM approval. And that's really bad. That's really rude. So, if you're chatting with a DM, and you as a DM is like a different side of it, where if a player comes to you and says, hey, I kind of want to change something about my character, or I want to like add some elements to the backstory that haven't been brought up to the group yet, I'm of the opinion of it's fine to do that. If a player and a DM are talking about it and they want to like add something or change something that doesn't disrupt the flow of the game, I think that's a fine thing to do. Because, you know, D&D is a collaborative game, and there are some people who don't really start to explore their character until they hit the tabletop. Like, you know, there's a lot of improv to D&D, and a lot of... I'm trying to think of it. You know, a lot of collaboration to it. You could meet a character in the game that inspires you to change what you were doing, that inspires you to go down a different path, or makes you want to explore some other element of the character or of like a story idea in general or a different part of the world. Like, these are things that can be done after session 0 or after session 1 if everybody is fine with it. Because it can cause chaos and it can cause disruption if it's done wrong. But there are generally ways you can, like, do something in-game to, like, tie it in, or, like, oh, this was just never touched upon before because it wasn't needed. Like, now it's something that's being brought up. So, like, in the way you mentioned of, like, it's not as much of, like, a single story as traditional writing, that's kind of the benefit of D&D. Like, you can always change things. It's going in every direction. So why not go in one more? I remember one thing. There was a campaign that I was running where I had made a questionable decision, you suppose you could say, to allow my players to get, like, homebrew races and, like, homebrew classes from, like, the D&D homebrew site, which is like a fan wiki for homebrew shenanigans. Oh, hold up. Can I, like, go back to other worlds? I'll give you my thought in a second, but I'm just checking something. Okay, well, I can't go this way. The problem is I unlock a double jump. I could go back that way. Oh! The red tree has, like, a green... It's a tree. It's a tree from before. It has, like, green leaves now. Bringing color back to the world. I like it. Alright, so I could go back to this world. It looks like there's 4 things that I missed there. That doesn't have to be a now thing, though. There's other worlds to explore. And, there's a good chance I'm going to unlock power-ups and new abilities in other worlds that will allow me to pick those up. I'm just going to follow the way this goes for now. We're bringing color and life back to this place. Alright, so, continuing my thought. There was a time when I was running a game and I let my players choose, like, homebrew races and classes from, like, the zeitgeist of... I think I'm using that word correctly. Just like a homebrew D&D page. Of course, with my approval. Oh! What are these butterflies doing? Well, I'm not going back that way anytime soon. Going into the blue world now. But yeah, I had one player who I approved something that we didn't realize how busted it was until it hit the table. And we spent the rest of that campaign just, like, changing classes and, like, different multi-classes, rebuilding it in 5e, all this stuff. And, like, the character was wonderful. I love playing with him. He's one of my favorite people to play with. But both of us looked at his character and be like, he should not be able to do the things that he is doing. So we sat down, we had a conversation, we changed up his class like 2 or 3 times. And every time I had managed to make a reason for it in-game, we... just stuff happened. I don't remember exactly how we did it, because this was years ago at this point. But, like, we had it in a way so that it kept flowing. It kind of, like, seamlessly went from one thing to another. And it felt more like a natural progression of things rather than, like, a hard mechanical change. So, yeah. You can always change things after, as long as everybody is comfortable and approves of it. A stroll through the garden. Oh, what was that? Oh. Alright, I see how this works. I just couldn't do it fast enough. Yump. Yump. And yump again. So many little mushrooms. I love this place. It's so vibrant. It's like little fairy houses. Oh, it's a stone fella. Hey, friend. No, friend. Please, come back. I miss you. So lonely out here. I haven't seen many other people here. Ooh, he dug into the ground. Hey, there's Stone Friend. I'm behind that tree over there. Okay, I can't break that. I'm thinking about allowing for a little bit of homebrew, within reason. I know one of my players is itching a little to try something that another DM allowed. I'm hoping it doesn't prove to be game-breaking. I mean, like I said, if he wants to try it, probably have a chat with him and be like, alright, I'm going to let you do this, but if it breaks the game in some way, I'm taking it away from you, or we're doing something to it to change how it works. Oh. Okay, that's not working too well. Anything down here I can investigate? The answer is no. There we go. Hop, skip, flutter away. A lot of climbing puzzles in this world. Okay, nothing over this way I can explore. So up here. Ah! Almost seamless. Almost. Okay. I will get this hop eventually. Alright, we got a rest point here. Almost had it? Yeah. I think this is where I continue, so I'm gonna try jumping up and see if there's any of those hidden collectibles up there. I've been watching an anime called, like, Frieren at Journey's End, which is pretty popular, so you've probably heard of it. Like, about an elf mage who spends, like, many, many years trying to relive the adventure of companions who have died, unfortunately. Because the fact that she's an elf, she lives much longer than most people do. So she got to go on this massive adventure that was like the defining thing for her friends, but for her it was just like a blink of an eye. And there's one recent episode where she's reminiscing about going into a dungeon, and people are asking her, Farron, why are you... Like, we found the way down to the next floor. Why are we still on this floor? We can continue our quest. I started watching that a little while ago. Okay, maybe I don't finish this then. It's not really a spoiler, because it's not like an important, like, some like great secret that was revealed, but like, it's just like a very cute moment of like Freya reminiscing about one of her old friends. Ooh, he has an apple. It's a square apple. Why's the apple a square? But yeah, Frieren is just a really nice anime. I've been enjoying watching it. I'm watching the English dub because I kind of just like put it on as work, so I don't watch it so much as I just like listen to it. I'll sometimes check the screen and just see what's going on. Just like some really beautiful, touching moments in it, and I like it. I still want to learn it myself if that's possible. Learn it, yeah. That's what I mean. I'll stop. I won't mention anything about Frieren, especially if you're watching it right now. But yeah, it's a really good anime, and I'm very happy that somebody else is watching it. Have an apple, friend. There you go, a treat. We're feeding a friend. An apple a day gives us a friend. There you go. I see you picked up a friend. Indeed I did. I have a little buddy following me. I'm feeding him. Three apples for our friend. Hey, friend. Aw, we have a friend. Hey, buddy. Ooh. He has found a path for us. Thank you, friend. He's guiding us. I don't know where he's guiding us to. It's like the roots of trees. I thought for a second it might have been like pipes. But no, with how like square everything is, these are definitely just roots. Huh? Oh. Oh, it's an apple down there. Have a munch, buddy. Alright. Is there any other animes you've been looking at recently, Smitty? Like, Farron's one that I'm keeping up with now. I was also have been watching Mashal. Mashal's been very fun. How do I get where I'm going now, though? Okay. Oh, like this. There we go. Now buddy's following me. Free me. Thank you. So he jumps when I jump. Because he can't jump as high. Going on an adventure with my forest fairy friend. I started rewatching Fate Zero, also catching up on My Hero Academia, because I stopped keeping up with that one for a while. Yeah. I think the last thing I watched from My Hero was like, they had the movie that came out. I like the movie. Like the Hero Island one. That was a good movie. I like that. I haven't kept up with the series in a long time, though. Kind of lost my interest a little bit. I've never been like the biggest fan. Oh. Hey! Oh, thanks, buddy. I don't know, I'm not the biggest superhero fan. There's 3 movies? There's 3? When the hell did they get 3? I remember the first one is one I'm talking about. And I remember they had one of like some kind of like... No, I do not remember it well enough to remember this. Oh, there's an apple on that tree. I give that to my friend. Fate Zero is also one I've heard good things about, but like, it just feels like there's too much of it to get into. Cause like, I heard there's 5 or 6 different like Fate series. Oh. With our powers combined, we will get through this forest. Yay. First movie is a good one. Have you seen the other 2? How do the other 2 compare? Because I know one of the movies had, Hey, buddy. Come on back. There's an apple for you this way. One of the movies I remember the selling point of it was the original intent, the original ending of what Horikoshi intended when he started the series. Of course, the ending had changed since he started writing it at that point. Haven't seen 2 or 3 just yet. Oh, okay. But that's what I heard about one of the movies, but I don't remember which movie that was now. Is there anything over this way? I'm not sure how I'm getting back out now that I've gone this way. Oh. I have found no moats. How have I done this? Can't say I've heard that particular tidbit before. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I'm pretty sure that's what I heard about one of the movies. Like the idea of it was a non-canon movie that was like, hey, this is the ending that was originally envisioned when the series was like in drafting. But we're not going with that one anymore, so we turned it into like a spin-off non-canon movie. It's not like the movie that's the official ending of the series. There's a lot of red in this area now. I think I don't know, I have a bit of like a problem with My Hero. Or like, I like the idea of it, but like, it just doesn't hit the idea, in my opinion, in a way that I like. So I kind of just... What is going on with this? Ah, that's how it is. Every time I jump, these ones change. Interesting. Like, I like the idea of My Hero, but just like what it focuses on, I don't vibe with as much. If that makes sense, I don't know if it does. The superhero genre has been overtapped as of late, hasn't it? Yeah, like, the MCU is also, like... No, don't do that, Keith! Damn it. Like, I don't remember... I haven't watched an MCU property in so long, just because I don't care about it anymore. There's too much. I don't want to have to, like, watch 5 different miniseries just to understand one movie. How do I do this? I think that the last MCU thing I watched anything of was the most recent new season of Loki. I watched a couple episodes of that. That was pretty cool. But even then, it was only like a couple episodes. It wasn't really something that grabbed my attention like the first season did. Just because there's just too much to that property now. I can't be bothered. Because they're kind of doing... Imagine they're kind of doing the idea of, like, content must be consumed. Where if they can keep eyes on their IPs longer, they, like, you know, have more staying power in culture. But, like, there's just too much for me to care about anymore. The MCU had really played itself out by the time Endgame had rolled in, and what's come since has mostly been lukewarm, lackluster, and a futile effort to justify its existence and relevance, while simultaneously existing what made it excising what made it attractive in the first place. Yeah, pretty much. Like, the thing with the original MCU series, like stage 1 to 3, is they all had a very set plot. Like, you could follow all of the movies, but it wasn't, like, essential to watch every movie to understand the next movie. And like, Endgame is where it should have ended. They should have just ended the MCU there and would have gone out on a high note. But with the world being how it is, of course they can't do that. Like, if something is making money, you don't just stop, because that's just like unfortunately how it is. If something is working and it's making profit, you don't stop it. You let it do its thing. And now it's like, I feel like they're trying to recapture like the same vibe of things. But there's too many characters, there's too many moving pieces, you can't track it all, you can't keep pace with it all. And I think they kind of made a bad call with all the, like, with how many miniseries they made. Like, every character pretty much got a miniseries. So it's like, yeah, they were an important character, but they were still a side character. Like, and now everybody's story has so much weight to what happens that, like, you can't watch it all. Like, there's no optional viewings. It's like, if you want to watch MCU, you have to watch everything, or there are so many gaps. And, like, thing is, it stopped making an actual profit a long time ago. They've been running at a loss on most projects, and they just keep on cranking out more content without addressing the original issue. Man, they really have not learned then. Because I was under the impression that the MCU was, like, still making pretty good profit. That's why they were churning out so much stuff. But if it did stop making profit, my God, they need to readdress. I think it's also a case of, like, a lot of the old MCU movies, they weren't massive team-ups of multiple heroes and multiple villains. Like, people got their own stories, sure, but, like, how do I explain this? They got their own stories, but they weren't crucial to the progression of everything else. Like, you didn't need to know the story of every major hero in, like, the team-up movie to understand the plot of the movie. Like, sure, you'd understand the characters better, and maybe it would contribute to, like, who your favorite character is in the cast, but, like, it wasn't required viewing. But now, like, with all the miniseries, like, all the extra movies, the prequels of everything, like, there's too much bloat for it to work, I think. Like Loki's the big one. They introduced the new big bad of the MCU, like Khan, I think his name is. I don't even remember. They introduced Khan in Loki, which, if Loki was just like, oh yeah, the god of mischief going around doing funky stuff with time loops and variants, like, it would be a good series already. Like, it didn't need a tie-in with, like, the major villain of, like, basically the Thanos of, like, Act 4 or Act 5, whenever they're planning to make him, like, the actual present threat. Like, that's very weird to me. Like, Loki didn't have to be where they introduced that. They could have had Loki just be an interesting side story. Like, with all, like, the time variant stuff, it didn't even have to be canon. It could have just been, we go on wacky adventures in different timelines of, like, what could have been. Which, they did have one series that was like that, where it was like, geez, what was it called? Like, What If, basically. They had, like, a What If series with MCU of, like, what if, what was her name? Like, Penny? I don't remember the name. I never watched like, Captain America's origin movie. Alright. Now I go this way. Peggy Carter, yeah. Like, the What If series, I think, is really good. For, like, the couple episodes I've seen and the clips I've seen of other episodes, that's a good way to do it. Because, like, the comics all have their thing with, like, multiple timelines and, like, multiple writers changing how characters function and, like changing their purpose in different stories. Like, What If, I think, is a good way to do that. Because it's like, hypothetically, what if this is what we did? What if this is a story that we told instead of the story you know? But that's cool. That's an interesting way to do it. Oh, I can glide. Yeah, okay. I have a bit of a double jump glide now. Wonderful. But yeah, that's kind of just been my little. I've had a rant on. I've had a rant on Dungeons and Dragons. I've had a rant on the MCU. There you go. That's been my little rant for the day on something that I feel like I sound like I care more about it than I do with how much I've been talking about it. Like, I just don't care about the MCU anymore, but I'm talking about it like I do. Oh. Oh, I can use the little red fellas like a big jump. Interesting. Free the red fellas. Ooh. A treat. Trust me, I could rant significantly longer than you have, mostly on the way it was and is being written. Yeah. That's to say, I hope I'm not, like, bothering with my ramblings.